So I've been studying these tactical videos they got me watching, and here we go. I'm ready. Hi, I'm Officer Chris O'Hannigan, and I'm here with the NYPD, and I would like to go through a consistent tactical video with you guys. When approaching the suspect, make sure that you're in a comfortable body state. Let me show you mine. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. If you can't get your leg up over your thigh, it's okay to leave it perpendicular to the other leg. Maybe like beach pose. Here we go. Make sure a firearm is not facing the subject. You do not want to scare them. And let me begin. Hello, sir. You are under arrest. Oh, you know what? Maybe we're just detaining you. We're not sure. And yes, we understand that you just shot at those people over there, and that you're not holding the firearm, so that's fine. But you did strike two of them. So what we're gonna need you to do is lay down on the ground. Me and my counterpart here, who will remain off camera, are gonna just approach you, touch your shoulder, and hopefully slide your arm to the back. But it's a little uncomfortable. All right, sorry. We'll use several cuffs just to make sure that your arms stay in whatever position you want them to be. But you need to lay down on the ground. What? Oh yeah, I need to call for additional. Yes. Oh, so let me get another additional unit over here to come talk with this guy with me. Bring that. Yeah. What? No, we don't have the mats. Bring the mats, sir. We need. Oh, the ground is too hard. Don't worry, we got the mats coming for you. Excuse me. Yes, sir. Okay, fine. So anyway, you may not be under arrest. I'm not sure. I have a supervisor coming who's going to supervise me, and he'll be supervised by a supervisor who's supervising the supervisor. And we're just all going to sit here and watch you tell us what to do. Yes. So, what's your name? Suck your dick. That's, yeah. There's a lot of people out here with that name. Hi, I'm Officer Chris O'Hannigan.
Let's just get into it. All right, folks, thank you for joining me with another episode of Western Slope Audit. And the first thing I want you to notice is the top of this red right here. See what that says? Breaking news. The National Rifle Association Chief Wayne LaPierre resigns days before civil corruption trial. And I'm doing a story on Elijah McClain real quick. That's we need to have a discussion about the word resign. Many of these officers around, you'll notice in my videos and even being filled with all this information as someone trying to run a channel, you'll notice that a lot of these officers are able to resign before or during a internal affairs investigation, or they're about to get charged with something and they're able to resign, or they get about to get fired for said crime or said, police brutality situation, but they're able to resign. And what that does is it allows them to go to another county and get rehired. And this happens over and over many times. So we're putting them back into a cruiser, back to help terrorize the community. And
it's very frustrating.
Chief Deputy Bongo says hiring so-called wandering officers is a disservice to the community and the citizens an agency serves.
And you get
hurt the public and commit more crimes. But we'll talk more about that today. So real quickly here in the WSA breaking newsroom, we have former police officers facing sentencing in Elijah McClain's death. And we'll watch this little clip real quick and we'll get on with it.
Of Elijah McClain,
listen to what this lady says.
Who died after an encounter with authorities while he was walking home from a store 4 years ago. Kana Whitworth has the latest for us. Good morning, Kana.
Robin, good morning. So this trial is now underway after the local prosecutor initially declined to bring charges. The governor then hiring a special.
Did you hear that? What did she just say again? Let's repeat that. Let's repeat that, please.
Robin, good morning. So this trial is now underway after the local prosecutor initially declined to.
The trial is now underway after the local prosecutors declined to bring charges or any indictments against any of these officers until the governor hired a private attorney, state attorney, to come investigate, and they found major crimes. We're talking not only did they tried but found guilty of, what are they, like, I forget the exact charges, but criminal negligent homicide and third-degree assault and other charges. And the local prosecution, they always have problems, or they just don't prosecute or bring indictments to local cops that are committing these crimes. I think someone's in someone's pocket. That's what I think. But here she says right there, again, the local prosecution did not file any indictments against the officers, and now 2 years later, he got some leeway or headway, whatever.
Trial is now underway after the local prosecutor initially declined to bring charges. The governor then hiring a special prosecutor who re-examined the case and indicted the officers and first responders nearly 2 years later. This morning, prosecutors laying out their case against two Denver area police officers they say were involved in the death of Elijah McClain.
Evidence in this case will show beyond a reasonable doubt that both of these defendants are guilty of both of these crimes.
Randy Rodema and Jason Rosenblatt, both charged with criminally negligent homicide,
Blue Line Gang members right there, folks.
Assault, and manslaughter following that fatal night in August of 2019. Officers responding to a call about a sketchy person wearing a ski mask.
You guys hear that? So there was a call in 911 said there was a sketchy person with the ski mask on. And he wasn't sketchy. He was just walking home from the store. Is wearing a ski mask like that a crime in the wintertime in Colorado? I don't think so.
I am an introvert. Please respect the boundaries that I am speaking. I'm so sorry. I have no gun. I don't do that stuff. I don't do.
That incident escalating with the 23-year-old McClain in a chokehold. McClain struggling to breathe.
I can't breathe correctly.
Paramedics arriving at the scene and injecting McClain with what ended up being a lethal dose of the powerful sedative ketamine. He died several days later. Prosecutors arguing McClain would still likely be alive today had it not been for the officers' use of force. Attorneys for the defendants, meanwhile, maintaining their innocence.
Just because a tragedy occurred here does not mean nor translate that Mr. Rodema engaged in criminal activity.
Okay, so wait, what the defense attorneys just said is if we're responsible for someone's life and they are in our care, in our situation, in our control, that just because there was a tragedy and someone died, that person that was supposed to be in your care is not a criminal act? Get up out of here, man.
McClain's family is speaking to ABC News shortly after the charges were filed.
I've been praying for all of it. It's what I wanted. My son fought for his life and dead for his life.
The jurors in this particular case, what essentially they're being asked to determine is whether or not these officers perceived that their behavior was such a gross deviation from the reasonable standard of care. And
a gross deviation of reasonable standard care. That's exactly what that is.
That resulted in a death.
Right, and reiterating there what one of those lawyers said, that just because a tragedy occurred doesn't mean a criminality occurred. And he placed the blame on the paramedics. They have their trial along with a third officer set to take place later this year. Guys.
Okay, Kena, thanks very much.
Now, the trial of two.
Now, let's go to the next portion of today's news. Boom, there it is, folks. So ex-Colorado police officer who killed Elijah McClain gets 14 months in jail, and he avoids prison. So today is the date of January 5th, 2024, and Colorado ex-police officer Randy Rodema speaks on his behalf during sentencing at the Adams County Court Friday, January 5th, 2024, so a few hours ago, in Brighton, Colorado. Rodema was convicted of killing Elijah McClain, a young black man walking home from a store. Is expected to learn Friday whether a judge will sentence him to prison or will he receive probation? So he actually got a slap on the hand, really, is what I see it as. I mean, as a matter of fact, hey, what do you think the charge, or what do you think, how much time do you think anybody of the public would have got for criminal negligent homicide? 5 to 10 years is what I think too. This cop gets 14 months. This kid weighed like a buck 10 and soaking wet. And it had like 3 guys leaning on him. And then the paramedics come to help out and inject him with a lethal dose of ketamine. Like, what are you guys doing, man? This kid's a whatever. I don't know. You guys are out of control out there. That's all I know. And you guys deserve these sentences, but that's a slap in the hand. I hope you get all your 14 months worth of just straight harassment by not only your local police and fucking correctional officers, but all the inmates. Harass your ass. Straight up. Anyways, let's see here. Officer Rodema was the most senior law enforcement member charged in McClain's death and was the only one found guilty. He was the most senior officer who initially responded to the scene. A jury convicted him in October of criminally negligent homicide, which is a felony, a third-degree assault, which is a misdemeanor. And the 23-year-old's killing received little attention at the time of his death, but gained renewed interest the following year as mass protests swept the nation over the murder of George Floyd by Minneapolis police. McClain's death became a rallying cry for critics of racial injustice and in policing. And of course, in the separate trial, 2 paramedics were recently convicted for injecting the kid, Elijah McClain, with an overdose of the sedative ketamine after police put him in the neck hold. Sentencing will come later this year for the. In a statement after those final verdicts, Elijah McClain's mother said having 3 out of the 5 defendants convicted was not justice, merely a very small acknowledgement of accountability in the justice system. There were at least 20 individuals there the night my son was alive and talking before he was brutally murdered. Aurora, Colorado Police Department, which are super corrupt. I had so much fabrication on my reports from them. And fire department kept everyone else on their payroll because both of these departments lack humanity, refusing to admit their humane protocols, she said. So that's it for that. Again, thank you for stopping by with Western Slope Audit. I'm your host, Caveman. Have a good night.